Once upon a time, in a quiet village nestled between rolling hills, there stood a little house on Willow Lane. It wasn't the biggest house, nor the fanciest, but it was the warmest and most welcoming. The cottage belonged to the Maple family, Papa Maple, Mama Maple, and their two children, Lily and Sam. The family loved their little home, where the walls were always filled with laughter and the smell of freshly baked bread. Every morning, Papa Maple would tend to the garden, Mama Maple would hum as she cooked breakfast, and Lily and Sam would chase each other around the yard, their giggles echoing through the lane. It was a simple life, but it was perfect for them. One sunny morning, as the family gathered for breakfast, there was a knock at the door. Papa Maple opened it to find the postman holding a letter. The envelope was thick and creamy, with elegant handwriting on the front. For the Maple family, it read. The family gathered around the table as Papa Maple opened the letter. Inside was an invitation to a family reunion at the old Maple Manor, a grand estate deep in the forest. The children had never heard of Maple Manor, but Mama and Papa exchanged a knowing look. "It's been years since we visited," Mama Maple said softly. "I think it's time we went back." The next day, the Maple family packed their bags and set off for Maple Manor. They loaded their wooden cart with food, blankets, and a lantern for the journey. The road was long and winding, leading them through fields of wildflowers and into the heart of the forest. As they traveled, Lily and Sam marveled at the towering trees and the chirping birds. "Do you think Maple Manor is as big as they say?" Lily asked. "Bigger," Papa Maple replied with a wink. "But remember, it's not the size of the house that matters. It's the love inside it." As the family ventured deeper into the forest, the path became harder to follow. The trees grew thicker, and the sunlight barely reached the ground. Suddenly they came to a fork in the road. One path was wide and clear, while the other was narrow and overgrown. "Which way do we go?" Sam asked, looking at the signpost. Papa Maple studied the arrows. "Maple Manor is this way," he said, pointing to the narrow path. "But it looks like no one's used it in years." The family followed the narrow path until they reached a small stream. Across the water was a rickety wooden bridge, its planks worn and covered in vines. "Do you think it's safe?" Lily asked nervously. Papa Maple tested the bridge with his foot. "It's sturdy enough," he said, "but we'll have to cross one at a time." Slowly and carefully, the family made their way across, the bridge creaking with each step. At last, the family emerged from the forest and saw Maple Manor for the first time. It was even grander than they had imagined, with tall windows, a sweeping staircase, and ivy climbing the walls. But the garden was overgrown, and the house looked lonely. "It's beautiful," Mama Maple whispered, her eyes shining. "But it needs some love." The family wasn't the first to arrive. Other maples had come from near and far, and soon the garden was filled with laughter and chatter. A long table was set up, piled high with food, and lanterns were strung between the trees. Lily and Sam met cousins they never knew they had, and Papa Maple shared stories of his childhood at the manor. "This place has always been special," he said. "It's where our family began." While exploring the manor, Lily and Sam discovered a hidden door behind a bookshelf. Inside was a small room filled with old books, portraits, and a large wooden chest. "What do you think is inside?" Sam asked. Together, they opened the chest and found it filled with letters, photographs, and keepsakes from generations of maples. "It's like a treasure chest of family memories," Lily said, her eyes wide with wonder. Inspired by their discovery, Lily and Sam decided to start a new tradition. They gathered photos and mementos from the reunion and began creating a scrapbook. "This way, we'll always remember today," Sam said. The other maples loved the idea and added their own contributions. By the end of the day, the scrapbook was filled with stories, drawings, and pressed flowers from the garden. As the sun set, the Maple family said their goodbyes and began the journey home. When they arrived, the little house on Willow Lane felt even cozier than before. They planted a new flower bed in the front yard, filled with seeds from Maple Manor's garden. That night, as the family gathered around the fireplace, Mama Maple said, "No matter where we go or how big our family grows, this will always be our home." And with that, the little house on Willow Lane was filled with love once more.